أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله أستعينه واستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. My dear audiences and my dear friends, brothers and sisters and well-wishers who are watching through Facebook, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure for me to attend this Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, and at the very beginning, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given me opportunity to attend this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, and let us say, Alhamdulillah, all praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, in today's Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, we shall have a discussion on verse number 188 of Suratul Baqarah from the Holy Qur'an. Suratul Baqarah is the second surah of the Holy Qur'an, and verse number 188, inshallah. As usual, at first we shall have recitation as well as meaning of this verse. Then inshallah we shall go to elaborate discussion on this surah, on this verse. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل وتدلوا بها إلى الحكام لتأكلوا فريقا من أموال الناس بالإثم وأنتم تعلمون صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين سبحان الله وبحمده Subhanallahil Azim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin abdika wa rasulik. I seek refuge, I seek shelter to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the accursed shaitan, from the accursed devil, and I am beginning with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is most merciful, most beneficent. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Do not eat up, do not grab property of each other by illegal means, by unfair means. وَتُدْلُوا بِهَا إِلَى الْحُكَّامِ لِتَأْكُلُوا فَرِيقًا مِنْ أَمْوَالِ النَّاسِ بِالْإِثْمِ وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. And knowingly, willingly, do not offer part of the property to the judge, to the arbitrator as bribe in order to grab the whole property. Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the truth, and His prophets and messengers have also said the truth, and we are among the witnesses. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the greatest. So this was the recitation as well as meaning of verse number 188 of Suratul Baqarah. It is a common scene surrounding us. If we have a look to our four corners, if we shall have a look surrounding of us, what do we find? What does we find? We are finding that people are grabbing one's other property by illegal means, by unfair means, by force. And whenever a suit is started, when a case is commenced, they offer part of the property to the judge, to the magistrate, to the arbitrator as bribe in order to grab the whole property. This is the common scene. In Islam, it is completely prohibited to offer bribe and to receive bribe. Offering bribe, giving bribe, receiving bribe is completely prohibited in Islam. So, we all say that we want justice in the society. But in order to establish justice in the society, in order to establish peace in the society, we shall have to establish justice at first in the society. Without establishing justice, fairness, equality in the society, it is not possible for anyone to establish peace in the society. This verse was revealed about 1500 years ago, and the implementation of this verse is still enforced in this age. So Qur'an is the eternal book. Our beloved Prophet laid the Islamic State, namely Medina, on the basis of this Holy Qur'an. And still, in this age, if anyone wants to lead his life on the basis of Qur'an, if anyone wants to lead his family life, if anyone wants to lead his social life, if anyone wants to lead his national life, if a if the head of any country wants to lead his country on the basis of Qur'an, this Qur'an is still enforceable at this modern age. So this was a recitation as well as meaning of verse number 188 of Suratul Baqarah. Now inshallah we shall go to some relevant verses of other surah from the Holy Quran. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First relevant verse is verse number 279 from Suratul Baqarah. The last portion of Suratul Baqarah, in last portion of Suratul Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, La tazlimuna wa la tuzlamun. If you do not oppress anyone, you will not be oppressed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in verse number 279. You want justice? At first you do justice to others. If you do justice, justice will be done upon you. If you do injustice, you will be also treated unjustly. So this is the last portion of verse number 279. La tazlimuna wa la tuzlamun. If we want to have justice, at first we shall have to do justice. Then we can expect justice from others. The next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 18 of Suratul Ali Imran. Verse number 18, Suratul Ali Imran is relevant in today's tafsir. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Shahidallahu annahu la ilaha illa huwa wal malaikatu wa ulul ilmi qaiman bil qist. La ilaha illa huwa al azizul hakim. Suratul Ali Imran, verse number 18. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Shahidallahu annahu la ilaha illa huwa wal malaikatu wa ulul ilmi qaiman bil qist. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels, the scholars of Islam are bearing witnesses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is founded on justice. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never does injustice to anyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives equal treatment to everyone. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared in verse number 18, Suratul Ali Imran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the principle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is founded on justice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only creator, and there is no creator but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no one. There is no partner of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most powerful, most wise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the wisest. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to do justice among his creatures. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not do injustice. So this was verse number 18 from Suratul Ali Imran. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to do justice among all the creatures. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 58 from Suratul Nisa. Verse number 58, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna Allah ya'murukum an tu'addul amanati ila ahliha wa idha hakamtum bainan nasi an tahkumu bil adl. Inna Allah ni'imma ya'izukum bihi. Inna Allah kana sami'an basira. Inna Allah ya'murukum tu'addul amanati ila ahliha. amanat, savings, dues. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing us to give the dues of others, to render the dues of others properly to its own owner. And next portion is relevant for this today's tafsir. وَإِذَا حَكَمْتُمْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, whenever you are appointed as a judge, when you are appointed as the arbitrator of any dispute, أَن تَحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ, أَن تَحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ, whenever you are appointed as judge, when you are appointed as the arbitrator of any dispute, solve the dispute justly, rightly, properly. Inna Allah ni'imma ya'izukum bihi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you advices. Inna Allah kana sami'an basira. Obviously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing, all seeing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to hear everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to see everything. So in verse number 58, Suratul Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also directing us to do justice among the people. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 8, Suratul Ma'idah. In verse number 8, Suratul Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kunu qawwamina lillahi shuhada'a bil qist wala yajrimannakum shana'anu qawmin ala alla ta'dilu i'dilu huwa aqrabu littaqwa wattaqullah Inna Allaha khabirum bima ta'malun. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, oh the believers, kunu qawwamina lillahi shuhada'a bil qist. Oh believers, be among those people who are ready to bear witness for justice, who are ready to bear witness for justice. And oh the believers, you insert with them, you include with those people who are ready to render, to bear witnesses for justice. وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَعَانَ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. And your jealousy, your malice may not restrain you from doing justice. So it is clear that we shall do justice on any position. We shall have to stand on the side of justice on any position. If your stand goes against you, against your parents, against your brothers, against your family, against your community, still then we shall have to stand at the side of justice. Sometimes we see in the society, people do not adduce evidences for justice, because if he adduces evidences for justice, his relative will lose the case. His evidence will go against his family. His evidence will go against his community. His evidence will go against his brother and sisters. And for that reason, he does not adduce evidence. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to adduce evidence in all situation, in all position. Although the evidence is going against you, against your family, against your family members, still then you stand by the side of the justice. I'dilu, do justice. Huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa. The month of Holy Ramadan is knocking at our door. And we shall keep fasting. Why? In order to earn taqwa. Taqwa means fearness for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, by doing justice, huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa. So, by keeping fasting, we shall earn taqwa. By doing justice in the society, we shall also earn taqwa. Taqwa means feeling for society, fearness for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wattaqullah, fear Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allaha khabirum bima ta'malun. Obviously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware everything what you are doing in the society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, all the activities are being seen by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taqwa, fearness for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second caliph, Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he requested Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu, the famous companion of our beloved Prophet. He requested Umar ibn Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu, what is taqwa? Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu said, have you ever traveled on a thorny path, on a thorny way? Our Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu said, yes, I traveled on a thorny path, thorny way. Then Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu said, how did you travel in a thorny way, in a thorny path? Umar radiallahu anhu said, I traveled in a thorny way, in a thorny path, very carefully and very fastly. Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu said, this is called taqwa. Taqwa means in this world we shall lead our life very carefully, so that the scenes surrounding of us cannot touch us. So this was verse number 8 Suratul Ma'idah, which is relevant in today's tafsir regarding establishment of justice in the society. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 84 of Suratul Hud. Verse number 84 of Suratul Hud. It is relevant in today's tafsir. وَإِلَى مَدْيَنَ أَخَاهُمْ شُعَيْبًا قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ وَلَا تَنْقُصُوا الْمِكْيَالَ وَالْمِيزَانَ إِنِّي أَرَاكُمْ بِخَيْرٍ وَإِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابُ يَوْمٍ مُحِيطٍ. Sorry. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated the incident of community of Shuaib alayhi salam. We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destroyed many communities for many sin, such as the community of Pharaoh, the community of Namrud, the community of Ad, the community of Samud. They were destroyed by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of associating partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pharaoh rejected the invitation of Tawheed from Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and for that reason Pharaoh and his companions were destroyed. Namrud rejected the invitation of Tawheed from Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and Namrud was also destroyed. The community of Ad, the community of Samud, they were also destroyed. for rejecting the invitation of Tawheed. And the community of Shuaib alayhi salam, they were rejected for a sin. They were destroyed for a sin they used to commit. The sin which was committed by the community of Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam was they used to give less in the balance. They used to make shortfall in measurement. وَإِلَى مَدْيَنَ أَخَاهُمْ شُعَيْبًا, I sent Shuaib alayhi salam, their brother, to their community. قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ. Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam invited them at first to the Tawheed, oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam said his community, وَلَا تَنْكُسُوا الْمِكْيَالَ وَالْمِيزَانَ. Oh my community, do not give less, do not make shortfall in measurement, do not make shortfall while weighing, do not give less while holding scale. Inni arakum bi khayri wa inni akhafu alaykum azaba yawmin muhit. By giving fewer, by giving less, by making shortfall in the balance, you are thinking that you will be rich. But I am apprehending that because of your this sin of making shortfall in the measurement, the punishment has already surrounded you. So, doing justice in the society is mandatory to us. And doing justice, it has a elaborate discussion. If a businessman who is doing business, if he at the time of giving things, giving commodities to the purchaser, and if he makes shortfall in the balance, he is doing injustice. And it is a great sin. And through Qur'an, through this holy Qur'an, we find that the community of Shuaib alayhi salam was destroyed by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And their sin was that they used to make shortfall in measurement. They used to make shortfall in balance. So this was verse number 84 from Suratul Hud. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 90, Surah An-Nahl. In verse number 90, Surah An-Nahl, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Verse number 90. إن الله يأمر بالعدل, justice. Obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing you to do justice. والإحسان, do good to others. وإيتاء ذي القربى, behaved rightly, properly, make good behavior with your relatives. وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ, and restrain from doing ill activities, from doing wrong activities, and from crossing the limit. يَعِظُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you all these advices. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hope that you will accept the advice. So, verse number 90, I have referred here in first part of this verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, Inna Allah ya'amurukum bil adl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing you to make justice. Here, because of word bil adl, I have referred this verse today's, because in today's discussion we are discussing regarding justice in the society. So verse number 90 of Suratul Nahl is relevant in today's tafsir. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 35 from Suratul Bani Israel. In verse number 35, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ إِذَا كِلْتُمْ وَزِنُوا بِالْقِسْطَاسِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing people, directing us, directing humanity, human being to fulfill the balance whenever you will make measurement. At the time of making measurement, you do not make shortfall. You give the due balance, due measurement, proper measurement, right measurement. Do not give less to anyone. And if you make justice at the time of measurement, ذَلِكَ خَيْرُ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. This is the better, and its consequence will be the best. Sometimes we say, there is a saying in our society, honesty is the best policy. We say, there is a proverb in our society, honesty is the best policy. It is not a proverb. It is the utterances of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this verse about 1500 years ago. Honesty is the best policy. It is not a proverb. It is the utterances of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was verse number 35 from Suratul Bani Israel. Next relevant verse, three verses in today's tafsir is verse number 181 to 183 of Suratul Suara. Suratul Suara, Allah subhanahu in verse number 188, 181 to 183, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Awful kaila wala ta'kunu minal muksirin. Fulfill the measurement. I do not be among those who used to make shortfall in measurement. Wazinu bil qistasil mustaqim. And hold the scale properly, justly, rightly. Give the proper measurement, proper way. Do not make shortfall. وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ وَلَا تَعْثَوْا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ. And if we make shortfall in measurement, if we give less to the people, what will be the consequence? The consequence will be that in our society, disorder will be spreaded. There will be no peace in the society. So in order to establish peace, in order to make the society smooth, we shall have to establish justice in all aspects of our life, in all spheres of our life, in all fields of our life. In our personal life, in our family life, in our social life, in our national life, we shall have to establish justice. Suppose I am a father, it is my utmost duty, it is obligatory, it is mandatory for me to give equal treatment to my sons and daughters. To give proper treatment to my sons and daughters, it is obligatory, it is mandatory to us, to me. I am a husband. I am bound to deliver due responsibility. I am bound to do due duties to my wife. If I do not do so, there will be disorder in my family, and my family will be ruined. So in order to make a family peaceful, in order to make a society peaceful, in order to make a state peaceful, we shall have to establish justice in all fields of our life. So these were verse number 181 to 183 from Surah Swara. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also praised for justice in all spheres of our life, in all fields of our life. Then relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 9, Suratul Rahman. Surah Rahman. In verse number 9, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَلَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing human being to hold the scale, to hold the balance justly and rightly. Do not make shortfall in balance, in scale. So this was verse number 9, Suratul Rahman. So in verse number 9, Suratul Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also praised for justice. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 18 or Suratul Hasr. Suratul Hasr, verse number 18 is relevant in today's tafsir. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu attaqullaha wal tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad wattaqullaha innallaha khabirum bima ta'malun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing us to make justice in all fields of our life. Why? We shall have to remember one thing, that our period of life, our tenure of life is limited. Either we have come in this world for 50 years, 60 years, 70 or 80 years. After expiry of this period, we shall have to meet death. And we shall have to appear before our only Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to give accounts of our all activities we are doing here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu attaqullah. O believers, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wal tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad. Every soul, everyone should remember what he has sent, what he sent for tomorrow. Tomorrow means the day of judgment. We shall have to remember one thing. We shall have to meet death, and we shall have to appear before our only Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to give accounts of our all activities. So we should think what we are sending for the day of judgment. Here the word Godin means tomorrow. Here Godin means tomorrow means the day of judgment. Wattaqullah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Innallaha khabirum bima ta'malun. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of your all the activities you are doing here. So you are deceiving people. I am deceiving people. No, I am deceiving myself. Although I am deceiving you, I shall have to appear before Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if anyone thinks that I am the clever, I have earned a lot of money by deceiving people, no. If you deceive people, you are deceiving yourself. Because one day you will have to appear before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to give accounts of all the activities you are doing here. That was verse number 18 from Suratul Hasr. Now relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 1 to 6 from Suratul Mutaffifin. Suratul Mutaffifin, verse number 1 to 6. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, Wailul lil mutaffifin alladhina idza qtalu 'alan nasi yastawfun وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُهُمْ يُخْسِرُونَ أَلَا يَظُنُّ أُولَئِكَ أَنَّهُمْ مَبْعُوثُونَ لِيَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I was saying a little ago that one day we shall have to appear before our only Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ. Sufferings for those who make shortfall in measurement, who make shortfall in balance, in scale. الَّذِينَ إِذَا اكْتَالُوا عَلَى النَّاسِ يَسْتَوْفُونَ. Whenever he receives anything from others, he receives full. وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُهُمْ يُكْسِرُونَ وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُهُمْ يُكْسِرُونَ. Whenever he receives anything from others, he receives the full. But whenever he gives people less. He makes shortfall at the time of giving. أَلَا يَظُنُّهُمْ أُولَئِكَ أَنَّهُمْ مَبْعُوثُونَ. Whether he does not think that one day he will be revived. لِيَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. On the great day. يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. On the great day, on the day of judgment, he will appear before the only Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, oh people, when you receive full. But when you give less. You give fewer. At the time of giving you make shortfall. Remember, one day on the day of judgment, you will have to appear before me, and I shall take all the accounts of your activities you are doing here. So this was verse number 1 to 6 from Suratul Mutaffifin, and those who are relevant in today's tafsir. Today we are discussing regarding justice. These were the relevant other verses, other ayats from several surah from the Holy Qur'an. Now inshallah we shall go to with relevant hadiths, relevant utterances of our beloved Prophet. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. And Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن المقسطين عند الله على منابر من نور عن يمين الرحمن عز وجل وكلتا يديه يمين الذين يعدلون في حكمهم وأهليهم وما ولوا رواه مسلم. This hadith has been narrated by Abdullah ibn Amr radiallahu anhu. He said, our beloved Prophet has said that those people who used to do justice at the time of arbitration, who used to do justice with his family, who used to do justice and if any liabilities or responsibility is given him. These people who are just will sit on the right side, on the right throne of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, made by light. That means the people who used to do justice in the society, who used to do justice with his family members, and who used to do justice if any liabilities and responsibilities are given to him. These people of just will be with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the right side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and both sides of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are right. Rawahu Muslim. So, doing justice, it is a great virtue. If anyone do justice in all spheres of his life, he will sit on the right side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the right side of throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rawahu Muslim. An Ayat ibn Hamaril Majashi radiyallahu anhu, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala, ahlul jannati thalathatun, zu sultanun muqsitun mutasaddaqun muwaffaqun wa rajulun rahimun raqiqul qalbi likulli zi qurba wa muslimu wafifu mutaaffifun zuhu iyal. Rawahu Muslim. Ayat ibn Himarin al-Mujashir has narrated this hadith. He said that our beloved Prophet has said, in the paradise, in the heaven, there will be three categories of people. Ahlul Jannati Salasatun. The inhabitants of Jannah, the inhabitants of heaven will be of three categories. One is Sultanun Muqsitun Mutasaddiqun, just ruler who used to make charity in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And next is those people who are very much modest, very much kind to the people. And those people who are very much kind with the people, with the relatives, and with his family members. That means doing justice in the family, doing justice in the society, doing justice with the relatives, and doing justice by the ruler of a country. They will be the inhabitants of Jannah, paradise, heaven. Rawahu Muslim. An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu qala, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, kullu salami minan nasi alayhi sadaqatun, kullu yawmin tatlaw fihi shamsu ya'dilu bainan nasi sadaqatun. Rawahul Bukhari. This hadith has been narrated by famous companion Hazrat Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. He said there are many joints in our body. For each and every joints there is a charity. And the best charity for every day is doing justice among the people. That means doing justice among the people amounts to charity in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Rawahul Bukhari. An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu wa Zaid ibn Khalid radhiyallahu anhuma qala kunna indallahi an-nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam faqala la uqdiyanna bainakuma bi kitabillahi azza wa jalla. Rawahul Bukhari. This hadith has been narrated by two famous companions, Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu and Zaid ibn Khalid radhiyallahu anhu. Both the companions said that we were sitting beside our beloved Prophet. Then our beloved Prophet has said that I have been sent to make justice among you on the basis of this kitab. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this book, the Holy Qur'an, and the direction of Holy Qur'an upon us is to do justice in all fields of our life. And our beloved Prophet has said that I will do justice as per this kitab, as per this book. Rawahul Bukhari. Then a famous hadith. And Aisha radhiyallahu anha qalat anna Usama radhiyallahu anhu qallama an-nabiy sallallahu alayhi wasallam fi imratin faqal annama halaka man kana qablakum annahum kanu yaqimuna al-hadda ala al-wadi'i wa yatrukuna ala al-sharifi wallazi nafsi biyadihi law Fatimatu fa'alat zalika qata'tu Zalika qatatu yadaha. Rawahul Bukhari. Very famous hadith. Once a member of very high family, a woman, committed theft. A female and a woman of very high family committed theft. And as per Sharia law, theft was proved, her hands will be removed. Then this hadith has been narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha, mother of our mother Ummul Mu'minin, Ma Aisha radiallahu anha, mother Aisha radiallahu anha. She said, when theft was proved against the woman of a high family, Usama radiallahu anhu went to our beloved Prophet to recommend so that the woman may be spared. The woman may be released from removing her hands. Then our beloved Prophet has said, فَقَالْ إِنَّمَا هَلَكَ مَنْ قَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا يَقِيمُونَ الْحَدَّ عَلَى الْوَدِيءِ وَيَتْرُكُونَ عَلَى الشَّرِيفِ. O Usama, earlier age, many communities were destroyed by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because they did not do justice. They used to enforce law to the lower people and they used to release the people of high society. Earlier many communities, many nations were destroyed because of doing injustice. Then our beloved Prophet said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ. Then our Prophet said, swearing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَوْ فَاطِمَةُ فَعَلَتْ ذَلِكَ لِقَطَعْتُ يَدَهَا. Had my daughter Fatima had committed theft, I would have removed her hands. That means our beloved Prophet was a just ruler. He did justice in the society and he set example that at the time of implementation of law, at the time of enforcing law, we cannot see that this law will not be enforced with him because he is a member of higher family, and the law will be enforced regarding a member of lower family. No. Law will be enforced equally either on the members of lower family or higher family. Law does not see who is from higher family or lower family. And for that reason, whenever Hazrat Usama radiallahu anhu went to recommend regarding a female of a high family to get exemption from the allegation of theft, Allah subhanahu our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad said, had my daughter Fatima had committed theft, I would have ordered to remove her hands. So this is a very famous hadith. This is Rawahul Bukhari. So regarding implementation of law, regarding implementation of justice, there will be no compromise. Islam teaches us not to do compromise at the time of doing justice in every fields of our life. So this was the tafsir regarding justice. So far it relates to verse number 188 from Suratul Baqarah. Now inshallah we shall have offer prayer. We shall offer prayer to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before offering prayer, let us recite Durud Sharif. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم امين. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب هب لي من الصالحين. رب زدني علما. أستغفر الله والله. اللهم بارك لنا في رجب وشعبان وبلغنا رمضان. اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. والله, we some of your servants have been gathered here in this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil. We have discussion from your holy book, from Holy Quran, and from Sahih Hadith. We have made many mistakes. Please forgive our all mistakes and accept this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil. Please make this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil a media for our entering in the Jannah. Please forgive our all sins. O Allah, give increase in our sustenance. Give increase in our life. Give increase in our respects, O Allah. Those we have raised our hands, please fulfill our all good wishes in our heart. You know what are the wishes in our heart. O Allah, accept our all the prayers. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.